computer. Great. Now I think we can start. I'm showing my browser. If you don't see it, just let me know. Your internet is unstable. Should be okay. Quick review. On Wednesday, a couple days ago, we learned MySQL average function, the sum function. The average is to get a average value of a numeric column, like a price. The sum is to return the total sum of a numerical column. And then in the where clause, we use like operator to match a pattern, like a name start with A or ends with B, something like that. And you use a percent sign to represent 0, 1, or multiple characters, and use underscore to represent one and only one character. And then we learn the in to specify multiple values. So either one or multiple. So that's similar to the ors. And the homework questions. So basically, we want to create a few MySQL statements using the above functions and operators. Let's see. The first one, get the average value of price of all products more expensive than 1,000 from the products table. So it should look like this. Select average price from products where price greater than 1,000. We can verify that. And we can borrow this thing here. We just need to replace that SQL statement there, put there here, and then run it. No value. I guess no product is more than 1,000. This must be, well, yeah, not Walmart. Maybe a dollar store. Everything is inexpensive. Let's try 100. Okay, there we go. Close to 200. That's the average price. All right. The next one. Get the sum of the total quantity from the order details table where quantity is more than 3. So select the sum quantity from order details table where quantity greater than 3. Again, we just copy it and paste into this. Oh, come on. Here. Okay, wow, a lot. 51,000. How about someone, all the orders with quantity more than 30? Oh, still a lot. Okay, because we do the sum. Okay, the third one, use the like to find all customers whose name start with B. So start with a B, we use a like. So select from customers where customer name like a B. Again, copy it, put it here. So if you want to play with it, just use this W3 school example and put your statement here and run it. Oh, okay, slow is thinking. Okay, so customer name, like a B, 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 B. Yep, okay, that seems to be correct. The last one, use the in to find all customers who are from USA, Canada, Mexico in the customers table. So select star from customers where city in the individual values with single quote separated with comma in parentheses. So this is a list of string values. Okay. Okay. Funny. Really? No one from USA, Canada, Mexico? Customers? Let me try that. Uh, Mexico? Yeah. Oh, country. Oh, yeah. That's a wrong statement. So you use a city. I said city in country, of course. So that's a wrong. That's wrong. So this one is not correct. So where who are from? So that's those are countries, not cities. So if I put a city here, that's a wrong field. Of course, got a no return, right? So the correct one should be this one here and country. Then we should get something. Yep, country from Mexico, Canada, USA. Yep, USA, Mexico. Right. All right. I will fix that later. Any questions on lesson 7? If not, we'll continue with lesson A. I think we used between before, but I think we should look at it more a little deeper. You can see that a lot things using between. So the between operator selects values within given range. So normally from a one end to the other end of a range of values. Interestingly, the values does not have to be numeric. It can be numbers, text, and even dates. Um, and also the between operator is inclusive. That means the begin and end values are included. So the begin and the end, the two values are part of the range. Okay, so that's called inclusive, including the begin and end value. So the syntax basically select from table where the column name between the begin value and the ending value. So between and between value 1 and value 2. That's the syntax. So this example shows that to select all products with price between 10 and 20, including 10. So if the product price is 10, is included, and also if it's 20, it's also selected. So between 10 and 20. Interestingly, it's not a from to. I would think a from 10 to 20. But, well, that's not the case. They pick up between and. So let's try it. Oh, let's just click that. And we don't need that. We can leave that thing there. is still loading, loading, fine. Now it's back. So select from products where price between 10 and 20. Yeah, so we expect all the records are between 10 and 20. Yeah, see this 20 is included and 10 is included. So from 10 to 20, it doesn't order them. It just keep the origin. It's ordered by the product ID. So it's ordered by product ID. Um, we didn't. I think we learned order by price. The default is by the product ID or all the fields, but you can specify a column to order the records. So if order by price, then yes, it's order by price. 10 from 10 to 20, right? So that's order by. Or you can even use order by product name. There's order A, B, C, yep, to V. Yeah. Not by price, not by product ID, by name, product name. So you can use order by. Okay, another example here. The same example, but use not. That means you want to select all the products outside that range. So less than 10 or greater than 20, not including 10, 20, because remember the between 10 and 20 include the 10 and 20. So if we're not between, that means not including anything between 10 and 20, including 10 and 20. So just use not between. So that means not between and is still thinking. Oh, it's not. Oh, yeah, okay. It's back. Still ordered by the name, and the price is not in that range. So you don't see anything between 10 and 20. So, yeah, it's all beyond that range. Okay. What's next one? The next one selects all products with price between 10. In addition, do not show products with category. Oh, okay. So we got two conditions. So combine between and the in. So you want to select products price between 10 and 20, and also category not in 1, 2, 3. So you can, combine this condition and this not in uh, condition. So yeah, the category no 1, 2, 3s. If you look at the category, no 1, 2, 3. Okay. Interesting. Oh boy, never mind. Next example here is select all products with a name between Carnivore and mozzarella, whatever. So it's not a value anymore. It's a string or text. So I think it's by the alphabetic order from A to Z, and so between C and then C, D, E, F, blah blah, all the way to K, L, M. So, oh, and look at this one. This time it used also product name to order by. So we want to see if the names are between C and M, including C and M. So you can use between text values. Copy. Okay, here, run. Okay, so product names between C, including C, all the way to M. Yep, so it's between C and M. I would call it a from C to M. Okay. And of course, next one, what's the difference from next one? Oh, blah, blah, between and that. Um, see, the only difference is it's doing this same thing, but notice a minor difference here. There's a this name got a single quote there, you know, enters something. And here we use a single quote to quote the name string. But when the string itself got a single quote, then you cannot use single quote anymore because it confuses it. You got a quote, single quote, and then another single quote, and a third single quote. So that's not paired. The SQL get confused. So what you need to do is instead of using a single quote, you use a double quote. See, double quote. Use double quote if the string contain a single quote. Okay, use double. And that way it won't break. Why don't we just put a single quote here? And if you do that, see there's a syntax error. So if you replace that with that, it should be okay. Unless it want those use true. Oh, it just take time, so it works. So yeah, let me run again. Yeah. So this one, this name doesn't have single quote, so you can still use single quote to quote the name. But this one, you need to use a double quote because the name itself got a single quote. So in that way, it works, and it return that thing. Yeah, and that one. So that's a minor difference between this one and that one. What's the next one? Oh, the same as that one, but it's not. All product is not between. So this one is between, and this one is not between. So you just add a not. So it just shows that the not between works with text as well. Just add a not, lowercase, uppercase, no problem. Now it's, oh, what about C? Oh, that CM is outside CAR, so that's why we got a C here. M, yeah. M Zala is treated as after this single quote one. This one doesn't exist, by the way, so so anyway, so that's it. Yeah, if we remove the single quote, it will get rid of that one. So the next one will be not host. Let me see. Yeah, not host. That one is excluded. Okay, hope this is the last one. This equals select all orders with an order date between July 1st, 96 and July 31st, 96. So this is between our dates. So we know between numbers, between text. Now it's between days. So you want to get all the orders, that will put in between 2 days, in that day range. Replace that statement. Run query. Yeah, the order days, they all, July something. Yeah, including July 31st. No July 1st. That's because, yeah, no order put in first. First is false, and then all the way to 31st. You can further limit the day range. We exclude 5, 4, 5, 8, 9. We start with 10. See if that's the case. Yeah, start with 10 and end with 31st. So you can use a between and on day range. Okay, I think that's all for between. Next one is one I think we saw it last time, alias. Aliases are used to give a table or a column in a table a temporary name or alternative name. It is often used to make column names more readable. Yeah. When you have a column name, long or too long or not clear, then you can give it a different name. Um, alias only exists for the duration of that query. Right. So the alias is just like almost like a temporary name. Only when you run that query, it show up, and then after you run the query, then it's gone. It's not stored anywhere. It's not stored in the table or anything. It's just like when you run the query, you got a name and display on your screen. It is created with a as keyword. Oh, as, not as, right? With as keyword. So you select whatever column name as an alias name from a table. Sometimes you can do the functions on a column or multiple columns, concatenation of multiple columns, and then give it a short name as a name. It's called an alias column. Yeah, you create a column alias, and then you can also create a table alias. So like a from table, if the table is too long or not clear, you want to give it a more readable name, you can say from table as something. I saw this from as, the as here is optional. We'll see. Let's look at some example here. So this statement creates two aliases. One for customer ID. We give a name ID, just call it ID, it's shorter. And customer name, just call it a customer. So customer is alias to customer name, ID is an alias to customer ID. So create two aliases. And this is also called a column aliases, or aliases for column. Write it, run it. There. So the values are still customer ID, customer ID value and the customer names only in the header. Only in the header it show the alias name. The ID instead of customer ID we show ID, and for customer name we show just customer. So that's the only purpose, just in the header. It doesn't impact the values. Okay, the values are still the original column values. What's this one? Create two aliases is one for customer name and one for contact name. Customer name, or contact name. Oh yeah. So for customer name, you can just call it customer. And the contact name you can call the contact person. It means the alias, the alias can have space. You can have a space in your alias name. But if you have a space, remember to use a double quote to quote it. Um, Otherwise, it's error. So you need to quote your alias name when you have spaces. If you don't, then that's okay. Let's see how that works. Yep. Yeah. So first alias just customer. The contact name we call a contact person and with a space there. So that's it, that alias. And another example for column alias. And let's see, we create alias address that combine four columns. Okay, so when you have a street address, a postcode, your city, your country, you want to combine that whole thing as the address. Um, so let's say select customer name. Um, the syntax here is you have four columns: address, postcode, city. Those real table columns. And the first parameter is like will you know concatenate them. This is the separator. You want to address comma space, postcode comma space something. So this is the you want to use that as separator to add them together. And this is a function. This is called a function. Concatenation means appending strings together. WS concatenation, I think that's a word, something like a WS. And then they give it a alias. And here the alias is the same as the column name, and that's okay. It doesn't impact the real table column. It just alias for display. So this one is okay. So this is the whole thing is a function. So you save the function as a new alias. If you want to try it, yeah, say is display as an address. So is the original address. You add a comma space and then postcode comma space and a city comma space and then country. So you combine four columns into a single column and display as address. Give it an alias. All right. But if you don't give it an alias, you get a something like this. See, it's like yeah, we know put the four things together, but we really do not need to see that long. We just need to see, oh, okay, that's the address, combine the address. So that's why the alias comes into play. Um, that's column alias. Um, Table. How about table? Yeah. All tables of a customer select all the orders from customer with customer ID 4. We use the customers and orders table, give them the table alias of C and O. Yeah. So we select something from two tables. We will learn the multiple tables with join in next section. But you can select columns from more than one table. So the first table is customers, and the second table orders, and separated with a comma. But you want to give alias C, to customers and O to orders. And then when you select them, you can say just instead of orders.order ID, you can use O.order ID, O order day, and for customers, because the C dot customer name. So you can use the alias In this way, then you don't have to type all the full table names all the time. And then in the where clause, you want, add some field conditions. You can also refer to customer table as just C dot and then column name. So, the table alias dot column name, and also, yeah, the table alias dot customer ID, or equal to the order customer ID. And that's a join we will see in next section. But that they think join the two tables together, and this further filter the records based on the customer name in the customers table. Okay. Why don't we just click try it? Try it. Okay. So you have orders from the orders table. You have column name from the customer table. Customer name from the customer table. So use the alias. Oh, and when you use the table alias, and then the header just use the customer name, because we are not creating column aliases. That's why they still display the real column names, no alias, excluding the table aliases. So we don't see the like O dot, or C dot. Okay, table alias, that's another example. Oh, that's basically the same thing. Just to explain that, if you don't use alias, you just use table name. Then when you select the columns, you have to specify the table names. And so you can see that it is more, messy than the alias, because you have to type the full table names all the time. Okay, we don't have to try that. Okay, so in summary, when to use aliases? There are more than one table involved in your query. If you have more than one table, then you use the table aliases. Functions, if you use the functions like that, then you want to have a column alias. Column names are big and not very readable, then you want to create alias. And if you want need two or more columns and but combined together like that, you probably want to use alias. So this is the scenarios when you probably want to use aliases. Okay, we have a few minutes left. Let's see if we can finish the next section, the join. We already know the join here. See, this is the join. C table join with the customer table, join with order table using a common column called customer ID, because the customer ID exists in the customer table and also in the order table, and also importantly, they refer the same thing, the customer ID. If they are not the same thing, then you cannot join them. If you join them, that's wrong. But when you design the tables, yeah, you probably make sure the name customer ID mean the same thing even though they are in the different tables. Okay. Back to joins. A join clause is used to combine rows from two or more tables based on a related column between them. Basically based on a common column among the two tables. Okay. Yeah. Example here, it's just like we looked at it earlier in the alias, and formally that join, this join use equal sign, and officially actually is inner join. So inner join means the common rows among two tables. Okay. So if we use just the equal, then we don't have to. Those become optional. But this is more formal. So We select blah blah from orders table, the first table, and then join with a customer table. We call it inner join customer on those two fields, the customer ID in two tables. So it's called an inner join on from table 1, join table 2 on that condition. So that's the real formal name. Um, so we can just try that quickly. So the same result as the other one. A30 record. Again, this is same result as this. You get rid of inner join and put a comma there and get rid of on. And oh, you want to type of where. So that's same as the other one. So you should get A30 as well. Come on. Yeah, I think it's the same thing. To see the effect, let's get rid of one column. Mm. What? Oh yeah, yeah. See, only two columns. A33. So it's basically the same result. I just want to see the effect. So it's A33. So this is basically this two tables, commas are where that's the same as from orders table inner join customers on that. Nowhere, but we want to put the inner join on. So that same effect. Okay, that's the inner join. And okay, number of joins. 4 types. The first one is called an inner join. It returns records that have matching value in both tables. And left join, they return all the records from the first table and then only match records from the second. The left is actually the first and the right is the second. And right join, it returns all records from the right table or the second table and only the matched records from the left table. That's called a right join. Cross join, return all records from both tables. The last one return the most. I think there's a graph here, make it easier to. Oh yeah, here. So inner join, only records common to both. The match, the records in table 1, table 2, they match. So this is left, this is right. This is inner join, just return the matched records. And the last one, it just return the left table, whole table, every records. And then for the second table, it only show the match. If they don't match, don't bother, just skip. Similarly, for the right join, return everything from the right table or second table, and for the first one, only show the common one. For the cross join, A return both, no matter what. I don't see when or how those are used, rarely used. And the most commonly used actually is the first one, the inner join. Okay. There's some cases you want to see the other, but the first one is the most commonly used join of two tables. Okay. Let's look at the inner join one more time. Back here. So join 3 tables. Okay. Yeah, you can use inner join. This is an inner join. So you can inner join more than 2 tables, not just 2. You can join 3, I think even 4. So let me select all orders with customer ship. So you want, let's say you want to see all the orders from the order table. In the meantime, you want to see which customer put in this order. So you want to see the customer, and also meantime you want to see who is the shipper, who is the the shipping, what shipping company is deliver the products. So the statement here is you want to select the order, you want to see the, of course, include the order ID, customer name, and the shipper name, UPS or FedEx, and customer who, and the order and order ID. Of course, you can add more, you can join with the products, you want to see the product name, quantity, order day, and so on, but for here, just show three things: order ID, customer ID, and the shipper name. The syntax is here. Of course, since the order is a primary table, you want to say from orders, and the join with customers, and the customer ID, the order table equal to the customer ID in the customer table. So those two tables are joined, and then they further join, inner join shippers table on the shipper ID in the orders table equal to the shipper ID in the shippers table. So the three tables, okay, table 1, table 2, table 3. And so you see the parentheses there? So that's the first join, first inner join. You join the orders in the customer table. And then you join with the shippers. So there's another parenthesis. I don't think the outside one is necessary. I guess that just for display purpose or readability. We can try if those that missing dropping the parentheses the out make any difference. Okay. All right. Put there. On the query, so order ID, customer name, and shipping company. United Package, Speedy. This must be UK, not a USA. So customer, put it in that order using this shipping company. As I said, the outside one, maybe just for readability. Maybe that's optional. Yeah, I think the outside one is optional. Let me drop one column. Yeah, that's optional. Yeah, true. It's just for ease of yeah, so the outside, but the inside one, I don't know. Let me see the inside one. I can't tell if it returned or not, but let me get rid of that column, run it again. Oh yeah, okay. Even the first parenthesis is optional. So it just put that just to group to indicate that this is the first join, and then this is the second join, for the readability. They are not significant functionally. Okay. I think that's all. And next time we'll probably want to try the left join, right join, and a cross join. Okay. Any questions? No? If no questions, again, a few questions to think about before the next lesson. And I see you on next Friday.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.